Greetings guys, Si here and welcome back to Projectleft. So today I'm continuing my season 2 roundup of things that you really need to know within the golf swing. Last week we looked at lie angle and today we're looking at club path. Another metric you really need to know and get sorted to play better golf. I've also managed to get out and play this week, so later on in the video I'm going to explain how that's all been going and what I've got looking forward later on in the month. So let's get inside and let's talk all about club path. We're recording. Okay, so I've jumped inside, we've jumped onto head cam to make this a little bit easier. Now, I always like to describe club path as almost like the train tracks that the club runs on as you hit the ball. Those train tracks could be pointing straight, left, or right, okay? And this is really how we distinguish club path. If I put this down on the floor, so a straight club path, or zero club path as is often known, is one that's gonna face the target. A leftward path is often described as out to in for a right-handed golfer, and a rightward path is obviously described as in to out. Again, for a right-handed golfer, we do need to flip these round for lefties. So understanding path on its own is not enough. We also need to understand the relationship when we bring a club face in. So it's pretty easy to see that when a path is straight and a club face is straight, the ball will go straight. But if the club path is straight and the club itself is twisted either to the left or to the right, then we have a disparity and something's going to happen. That means curvature is going to be involved. And it really is important to know, if your path is to the left, that you need to present a rightward club face in order to get that curvature back to target. Not so much that it curves too far and also not enough that it doesn't curve back. Similarly, if we're over on an in to out club path, you're going to need to have a leftward facing club face in order to get that club curving back to target. Just remember it this way: if something points right, something else has to point left. So if the path is right, the face has to be left to counteract it. And it's all about managing those relationships so you get the correct curvature, not too much or not too little. And that doesn't then even bring into what we discussed last week, which is dynamic lie angle, another variable on this axis. And again, something that coaches need to understand and also need to convey to you as the student in order to help you improve. And the fourth thing, once you've got face, once you've got path, once you've got lie angle, you also need to get the middle of the club face. If you don't get that, all of this is irrelevant. So you can see there quite specifically how important your knowledge of club path and face the path are in hitting good golf shots. I feel it's super important that you get yourself, even if it's not a coach that you see regularly, go and see a coach, go and see a professional that has a launch monitor that can measure your club path, can measure your face to path relationship, just so you have a basis, even if it's a basis to take back to your regular coach. But you can go armed with that information, armed with that data. Hope that helps, guys. I hope that was a nice, quick, simple way to understand club path, and I hope it helps you play better golf. Comment below, as there are definitely more things to come in this series. But what would you like to see me cover? Are there any terminologies in golf that you don't understand that you'd like explained a little better? Okay, right, I'm gonna get home, gonna go sit down in the studio, and let's talk about when I actually got out to play golf this week. There we have it, guys, a little explanation on club path, and I briefly touched on face to path, which I'm going to go into a lot more detail next week. Hopefully you found that interesting. If you did enjoy this content, then maybe stick around, because the next part of this video is going to be all about my personal journey on Projectleft in the last week. So those of you who may not have tuned in before, my name's Simon, I'm a PGA professional, and I've given up playing golf right-handed for 3 years to study, learn and develop and see how good I can get playing left-handed. I am 1 year and 2 months into that process, and so far I've got my handicap down to 14, but I have reached a bit of a plateau. I really feel that my game has not improved much in the last few months. Obviously, as a full-time coach, it is difficult in the summer months to get away and practice, and ironically I'm now coming into the time of year where I do have a bit more time on my hands to practice, so hopefully the improvement will continue through the winter and we're going to hit the season next season
really positively. So I did manage to get out and play 9 holes this week with my father, and I have to say it is absolute privilege to be able to play golf with my family. I'm very lucky that both my mum and dad play golf. My sister was also a very good golfer, but family commitments etc. means that she doesn't play as much now. But it really is a treat to be able to enjoy this amazing sport with my parents and with my grandparents when they were around. And I do not take that for granted. I do not ever underestimate how important that is. Dad's playing really, really well at the moment. He's off 11 handicap, so 10.5, 10.6. Mum also is off 12 handicap. She's playing really, really well at the moment, despite not being able to play as much as possible. And I just think it's fantastic to be able to enjoy not only my development, but also helping my family enjoy and play their best golf. So there we go, guys, another week done. I haven't had much chance to practice. I do have a competition lined up on the 27th of October, which I am hoping to play in. There's also a Friday and a Sunday competition before that if the stars align and I have some free time, I'm going to try and play in. But the 27th of October is the scheduled next competition. That's what I'm kind of working towards. It is a medal competition at Bury St Edmunds, and hopefully it's going to be a chance for me to get that handicap cut in an official qualifying competition. Next week we're going to tackle that face the path, and we're going to talk a little bit more in detail about the kind of 3 dimensions of this face the path relationship. It's not as simple as I broke it down today. You've got dynamic light and you've got loft to build into this equation, but I think it's really important that you guys understand this and know this and are armed with this information when you go for your lessons. I had a really interesting conversation on Twitter this week where we were talking about the need for using technology in lessons, and I believe that you don't need technology in all your lessons, certainly not the full gamut of technology that is available, but I think basics such as strike, club path, lie angle, loft presented, angle of attack, these are really important things for you to know, learn, and then also be armed with to make your development as simple and as quick as possible. More on that next week. All that's left to say is if you've managed to stick around to this point, hope you've enjoyed the content, and if you have, why not think about clicking that subscribe button? That'll be down the bottom. There'll also be a like button over there. That's all the YouTube stuff, keeps YouTube happy about our content and that YouTube knows we're delivering excellent content to you guys. And you've seen I've remembered to put the lights on in the studio this week. I'm getting better, I really am trying. A little bit of a homage to the Ryder Cup, which I did enjoy the 14 club challenge from the Ryder Cup this week, the 2 captains, that was excellent. Adam and I have filmed the 14 club challenge, which will be coming your way next week. Stay tuned for that. It's quite interesting. But yeah, until next time, this is an episode of Project Left. My name's Simon, and we'll see you down here on the channel very soon. Bye bye.